Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. We begin tonight in the Yukon. A man facing charges related to the death of a cyclist last summer in Whitehorse has pleaded guilty. Adam Lougheed entered his plea in a Whitehorse courtroom this week. Julian Green has more.
Lougheed pleaded guilty to the 4 counts in question. That includes driving while prohibited, driving causing death, and a failure to remain at the scene of a fatal crash. Lougheed was in the courtroom in Whitehorse just yesterday, dressed in all blue with a beard and tattoos. He kept his eyes cast downward for much of the hearing. Last June, Joseph Morrison was killed in a hit and run. He was riding his bike in Rabbit's Foot Canyon in the city. His death has sparked renewed calls for road safety among cyclists and other Yukoners in town. The case is back in court on June 26th, where a sentencing hearing date will be selected. Julian Green, CBC News, Whitehorse.
Meanwhile, hundreds of cyclists showed up for a special ride in memory of Joe Morrison. They gathered on Monday at the school where he worked. Riders then took over the Alaska Highway past where he died. The ride was in support of Morrison's friends and family and to raise awareness about bike safety. A member of folk duo Twin Flames is facing 7 charges over alleged historical sexual offenses. Sunchild Deer Ukpik, also known as Yayi Ukpik, is accused of a range of offenses from the 2000s. They include sexual assault, sexual touching of a young person while in a position of authority, and forcible confinement. An arrest warrant obtained by Radio-Canada alleges 2 victims. Quebec's police watchdog, the BEI, is investigating because Ukpik was a police officer in Nunavik at the time. His lawyer says he firmly rejects the accusations. His next court date has yet to be set. A homeless encampment gaining attention in Yellowknife has been relocated. Volunteers helped residents move from downtown to the new site earlier this month. A lawyer for the people living there says they came to an agreement with the Northwest Territories government and the city on the new location. But questions remain about who will pay for services at the site. Jocelyn Chappelle reports.
A teepee, belongings, and a flag hoisted high are hard to miss outside the Prince of Wales Northern Heritage Centre in Yellowknife. The new homeless encampment is set up by the museum entrance, about a kilometre from their old spot downtown. Encampment residents say that the new location provides more privacy and that there's a strong sense of community at the camp this year.
We kind of stick together and, don't, be too strong on each other. As we're all going through something right now.
Craig Strachan helped organize the shelter setup. He lives at the encampment and says he likes the new spot because it's away from Yellowknife's residents.
We're kind of tucked away, but we're still, we're close to the museum where a lot of the tourists come and they see that this is an ongoing issue here in Yellowknife and everywhere else.
From here, the NWT Legislative Building, the new encampment is a 5-minute walk away. The lawyer for the encampment says the city and territorial government are still sorting out who will pay for essential services, things like waste disposal and sewage collection. Those talks are expected to happen over the next 2 weeks. Anywhere from 5 to 12 or more people stay at the encampment nightly. Residents say for now their main focus is having water both for drinking and fire safety.
We got 16 water jugs, and I believe it's 4 fire extinguishers and main points.
CBC News reached out to the city and the government about service negotiations, but did not hear back by deadline. Jocelyn Chappelle, CBC News, Yellowknife.
NWT Fire says the Tulip Lake fire is now being held. That means fire officials believe it will not spread beyond the current containment lines. That's despite the recent extreme fire weather. The fire is about 28 kilometers east of Fort Smith NWT and 14 kilometers northeast of Fort Fitzgerald. It's over 140 square kilometers in size. Meanwhile, persistent dry conditions have forced officials in Hay River NWT to declare a full fire ban. It'll be in place until further notice. NWT Fire lists the fire risk in the community as extreme. The Arctic Development Expo officially kicked off today in Inuvik, NWT. The three-day conference is an annual event in the community. This year's theme is sovereignty and security in the Arctic.
Everybody thinks the North is so secluded or apart, but when you look at it from the security point of view, for example, we're literally in the center of that discussion. So yeah, it's really important.
Local and NWT leaders are taking part, along with more than 50 exhibitors who've set up at the trade show. Sessions include demonstrations of drones and AI technology. There will be panel discussions on housing and food security as well. A cultural night and fashion show is planned for Wednesday evening, and it'll all wrap up on Thursday with a comedy showcase and feast. First Nations groups held a protest rally on Parliament Hill today against the federal government's One Canadian Economy Act. The bill would grant sweeping powers to fast-track major infrastructure projects. It's drawn sharp criticism from Indigenous leaders. They accuse Ottawa of rushing the legislation without meaningful Indigenous consultation. David Thurton reports.
Ottawa's major projects bill facing some pushback.
A lot of things that are troubling. That should trouble all of us.
It's an excuse for them to power grab and create more political power for both levels of government.
Ontario's First Nations gathered on Parliament Hill as the government rushes through legislation.
It's very emotional for me as an environmentalist to know that this damage is going to be left to our children.
As Donald Trump's trade war threatens the Canadian economy, the Liberal government says the bill is about getting mines, ports, and pipelines built fast, especially those snarled in overlapping regulatory and permitting processes.
For too long, when federal agencies have examined a new project, their immediate question has been why. With this bill, we will instead ask ourselves how.
But some Liberals are uncomfortable with the bill.
I support a lot of what's in the Building Canada Act as well. There are two major problems, and if those problems aren't resolved, then I'm not going to support it at third reading.
The bill allows the government to approve a project up front, along with exempting any project from any federal law, a sweeping power that will be in effect for 5 years. The NDP and the Bloc oppose the bill as it stands.
Will the Liberals take the time to answer questions on C5 instead of forcing it down Parliament's throat?
The government says consultation with Indigenous people is woven throughout the bill.
Let me be absolutely clear. Major projects will only proceed under this Act with meaningful consultation and accommodation with Indigenous peoples.
The bill has broad support from industry, and Conservatives are signaling they'll back it too, which likely ensures its passage to the House by the end of the week. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
Nunavut MP Lori Idlout is also worried about Bill C5 and how Indigenous groups will be consulted under tight timelines. She spoke out against it in the House of Commons this week. Idlout referenced an elder from Baker Lake named Joan Scotty, who has fought against several mining projects in Nunavut going as far back as the 80s. Idlout says the rights of Inuit could be at risk again.
Joan has written a book about her life entitled I Will Live for Both of Us, a history of colonialism, uranium mining, and Inuit resistance. Joan has the strength to protect the land and the caribou. I am inspired by Paningayanak and hope Inuit and Indigenous peoples will show their resistance in what will be challenging days. Our rights are on the verge of being infringed by Bill C5. Let us be moved by Paningayanak and do what we can to protect our lands. Thank you.
Bill C5 is now set for an unusually fast one-day study by the House Transport Committee tomorrow. The NWT is one of the first Canadian jurisdictions to phase out a highly polluting anesthetic gas called Deslerate. It's used to cause loss of consciousness during surgery and is recognized as one of the most environmentally harmful anesthetic gases. The NWT stopped using it over a year ago. Conversations about phasing it out have been happening for a few years.
And I thought I was going to pester them. And in fact, they just said, oh, yeah, we actually haven't been using it for almost a year because we didn't put it in the new machines. And I was like, oh, did you know that I think you're the first province or territory in Canada to do this? And they're like, yeah, And we asked if they wanted to share the story with you, and they just said, tell them we said it's fine. So their quiet leaders are GP and Ethletis here in the territory, but Steve Krause, Caleb, and others have been wonderful.
Nunavut and Newfoundland and Labrador also stopped using the gas, and it's been phased out at more than 100 hospitals across the country. Health professionals and sustainability advocates are pushing to totally eliminate it. Dr. Howard says the next step is to continue education on sustainable health care. Canada has promised $4.3 billion in new support for embattled Ukraine. Prime Minister Mark Carney made the announcement at the G7 summit on Tuesday. Ashley Burke has more on the final day of the meeting.
An extended family photo, but its main character missing. Donald Trump long gone from the summit ahead of other world leaders arriving for talks they hoped would be with him. Ukraine's president planned to push Trump for tougher sanctions on Russia.
We're ready for the peace negotiations. We are ready for the peace negotiations, unconditional ceasefire. I think it's very important, but for this we need pressure. And of course I want to speak with Prime Minister today about sanctions, additional sanctions.
Overnight, Moscow hit the capital with one of its worst attacks yet.
It's a big tragedy for us, and we need support from our allies.
With Trump stepping away from the summit, Carney's trying to step up.
We are providing additional military assistance, drones, helicopters, broader munitions, over $2 billion worth of assistance directly to Ukraine.
Carney announcing more money, more sanctions, and a loan from frozen Russian assets. Moves to help Canada boost its defense spending too.
The fact that you decided to bring Canada to the 2% spending when it comes to NATO this year is really fantastic.
NATO's pushing for countries, including Canada, to spend even more as Trump applies pressure.
But what they do expect, of course, is for the allies outside the US to step up in terms of defense spending, to equalize with what the US is spending, and we have to do that.
Leaders will have a chance to meet again at the NATO summit next week, but Ukraine's president is leaving Canada without what he came for, a face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump and a joint statement from G7 leaders who couldn't agree on the final wording. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Banff, Alberta.
As you heard from Ashley, Donald Trump left the G7 early yesterday to meet with advisors at the White House about the escalating crisis between Iran and Israel. The U.S. president says he wants to see a real end to the conflict and an end to Tehran's nuclear program. It comes as speculation grows that he may be leaning towards more direct involvement. Sasha Petrosic has the latest.
Even on the flight out of Canada on Air Force One, Trump was insistent.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
He says he's looking for something more than a ceasefire in the war between Iran and Israel. He wants Iran's nuclear program stopped, maybe destroyed. As the two Mideast countries trade airstrikes in a 4-day war that shows no sign of slowing or achieving Israel's goal of preventing Tehran from building a nuclear bomb, the U.S. has been making moves of its own. It's brought in more ships and planes, and Trump's social media posts point to even more direct U.S. involvement. He boasted that it's American-made weapons used by Israel that have cleared Iran's defense systems. He threatened to kill Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, not now, but maybe. And he posted a demand for unconditional surrender from Tehran, all in the space of 1 hour this morning. Israel has long pushed for the U.S. to join this war. It especially needs America's biggest bunker-busting bomb to destroy Iran's most important underground nuclear plant. The huge bomb can only be dropped by American pilots using the U.S. B-52 bomber. Iran has reportedly suggested it's ready to negotiate now, and Trump's not closing the door on talking, says a State Department spokeswoman.
Negotiations looking for diplomatic solutions to generational problems that he wants solved diplomatically.
But discussions with Trump's national security team in the White House Situation Room today suggest other options are on the table. Sasha Petrosic, CBC News, Washington.
We're always doing something that's connected to music, and it always finds a way to bring us closer as a family, closer physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally.
I realize like how important it is to have like the representation of it, like to have Indigenous folk on stage, singing their songs, doing their thing.
What I can say is that I feel connected, which is cool.
Don't miss Resonate, Songs of Resilience.
This astonishing world, with its infinite possibilities, calls to the world shapers, impact makers, visioneers. Together, let's unlock potential everywhere.
Welcome to your new home.
Mais il est trop chaud. He understands French. I'm not seeing this as a suicide.
Someone sure wanted us to think it was.
Gallagher is suspect number 1.
Tell me, was it the man's politics you didn't like, or the fact that he's living with your wife? I know he's into something. I just got to prove it.
No, we all have a past. Find his.
Be careful around Fitz. Donnie's got a lot of demons that tend to appear when no one expects it.
New year, new school, new uniform. High school was a chance at reinvention, a whole new me. Who to join? Jocks? Nerds? This was life or death.
Take a risk. Life's short. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Just live your own.
Sometimes you find yourself in the right place at the right time. And if you're there with the right people, well, it doesn't get any better than that.
I brought a few friends along with me today.
3, 2, 1.
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of the dragons.
Take me home, James.
Full of surprises here on The Den. Dragon's Den. Watch free on CBC Gem.
A new emergency call center near Montreal is now operational, and it's dedicated to serving Nunavik. The Quebec government is investing $4 million to help expand 911 services and management in the region. 5 villages are currently being served by the new call center in Saint-Eustache, following a pilot in 2023. All 14 villages will be connected by the end of 2029. The Nunavik Deputy Police Chief says until now, officers answered service calls themselves.
Previously, when a citizen has to call the police, they have to call a 10-digit phone number, and then at the other end of the line, it's the police officer that's answering his own call. So if the police officer is not at the police station, he's answering the call directly on his radio. It's just something that's not acceptable in 2025.
Quebec's Indigenous Affairs Minister says there aren't any dispatchers who speak Inuktitut at the new call center, but he hopes that will change.
With the language, like a language barrier in Inuktitut, they do have a chart with a few of those words, but at the end of the day, if it's not working, they get a translation system so they can transfer that call to someone that speaks Inuktitut.
Longstreet says it's important for dispatchers to undergo cultural sensitivity training. He says the police service is working with the school board to recruit Inuit for the call center. Residents of Rankin Inlet, Nunavut are noticing something unusual about a local lake. People say Williamson Lake started turning red last Saturday. The lake is in the middle of the community. According to a Hamlet notice, the GN's infrastructure department placed a red dye into Williamson Lake in early June. This was done to locate sources of groundwater that have been overflowing to parts of downtown. The Hamlet says the dye is non-toxic, environmentally safe, and poses no hazard. The notice also says the dye will break down in sunlight and disappear over time. The community of Makkovik, Newfoundland and Labrador is working with researchers to study cloudberries. They want to understand how the changing climate may affect them. Now they have time lapses of the berries' life cycles for the first time. Heidi Adder has more.
These videos were taken by Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada. They show the time-lapse of a cloudberry from sprout to fruit. The federal organization started projects with the community of Makkovik in 2019. Cloudberries emerged as one of the important local foods to monitor. Researchers are trying to understand what helps the small berries thrive. Tyler Smith is a research scientist and botanist. Smith says they're using temperature and humidity recording tools, cameras, and more. Smith says it's unreal to see the time-lapse results.
It's really extraordinary. It's really hard, even as someone who studied plants for decades now, it's still challenging to get your head into the time frame and the scale that plants operate at.
Work is still underway to figure out the root cause of what helps cloudberries thrive. Smith says it's important to know how the landscape operates now, to watch for how the climate is changing into the future.
While we're expecting climate change will have a negative impact overall, there may be local sites that actually do better. And so if we can understand and anticipate that, we might be able to plan for management and enhancement that's going to help us deal with some of the challenges that are in our future.
The work is done in partnership with Macovimiate. More time lapses are anticipated in the future to see how things grow. Heidi Adder, CBC News, Happy Valley, Goose Bay.
When you think of orchids, you may imagine bold flowers in exotic locations, but the plants flourish across all 3 territories. And in Whitehorse, Calypso orchids, also known as fairy slippers, are in bloom. The colorful plants are designed to attract queen bumblebees for pollination, and while they are beautiful to look at, they're also very delicate, and experts say they should be left undisturbed.
My main recommendation would be if you want to capture a little bit of that orchid magic, do it in a photo and try to avoid picking or trampling these things as much as you can.
The Yukon and NWT are both home to 19 varieties of orchids. 13 are found in Nunavut. Oilers fever is strong in the north. The team is looking to force a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final tonight. If they win, some Yukon fans are planning to be in the stands. The CBC's George Moratis reports.
When it comes to Edmonton Oilers fans in the Yukon, these guys might be the biggest of all.
Oilers! Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby!
This team is like another son to my family.
Stu Kanak's passion runs so deep, he bought season tickets, along with his close friend.
We do everything it can to support it and nurture it, and hopefully it grows into something that's very beautiful, as in holding the cup so we can be proud of.
Well, we're a little bit older now and have worked enough that we have a bit of disposable income, so that was kind of the driver for that.
Daryl Peters understands their immense love for the team. He's been cheering for the Oilers since they entered the National Hockey League in 1979.
I love it, every bit of it. Like the history of them, I watched them since 1980, 79, till now. Like 2025 is a lot of years, right? A lot of passion, a lot of team building.
Peters says this year's final is bigger than hockey.
The passion of Canada against U.S. right now, it's just huge in the world and me. I mean, the national anthem means more than ever to me. And I know my wife's the same way, and my mother's watching the game too. So we're just passionate about it, exciting about it. U.S. against Canada kind of in the way. We have 17 Canadian boys that are playing on Oilers team. They only have 9.
Oh, huge. Not just for Edmonton, but for the whole country. The whole country. We need this. This is something that there's a lot of political stuff going on in North America, and to bring the cup home to Canada, I think that would be huge for just Edmonton and the whole country.
These diehard fans are even encouraging Canucks fans to jump on the bandwagon.
I think it's about bloody time. I think it's time that you did that. No, you're cheering for a Canadian team to get through. We haven't won since '93. It's time. It's due.
Kanak already has his tickets to Game 7. If there is a Game 7, Maltby also plans to be there.
We'll be at the game, and we'll be there hopefully for all the after parties. Plan on spending the weekend there.
Peters and his wife hope to be there too, even though the price will be steep.
So Game 7 tickets, I'm going to have to remove my kidney and sell them on eBay so we can go.
Florida and Edmonton face off tonight. If the Oilers win, it will all come down to one game for the Stanley Cup. Friday night in Edmonton. George Moratis, CBC News, Whitehorse.
And excitement for the Oilers isn't just hitting the Yukon. This is the home of Charles and Muriel McNeely in Fort Good Hope, NWT. As you can see, there are cutouts of the players, jerseys, even a Stanley Cup, all on display. No question who they're cheering for tonight. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.